Well, hello there, my fellow miners and crafters. Good times with Scar here, bringing you another super awesome Minecraft episode. And we are starting a brand new project, and that is our massive terraforming project, where we are going to create some amazing sea cliffs. So we're going to start around theirs, and we're going to wrap around these cliffs and waterfalls and little hidden lagoons and caves and all sorts of awesome stuff, which will form the land for our roller coaster. So let's get this episode underway. Alright, welcome back, and hope everyone's doing well as we start a new project. So this is episode 1, and don't you just love the smell of the first episode? It's like a new car smell. It just feels great. Alright, so we are back here, and as you know, we finished the bridge in our last building episode, and we toured Scarland last week to kind of look at some of the new projects. And what we need to do today is start the project where we are going to terraform these mountains. So the first thing we are going to do is that Enderman. Ooh, it's getting a little angry over there. That's one angry Enderman. And so what we're going to do is, he's going to explode on us. What we're going to do is we're going to create an arch. So that is our first project in our terraforming here. We are going to create a little arch that will go up here, and that will create the land bridge between our man-made bridge and our natural bridge, which will connect there. And then down here we are going to build a river that will connect along here, so go under there, and then some really cool little cliffs and things like that. So let's get rid of this temporary bridge right here. So we'll get rid of this, and let's just go over a few things you'll need for kind of landscape building. First thing I like to always have is my, aqua affinity respiration for underwater tasks, and for my feet, feather falling is always a must. And definitely spend the extra cash and go with the diamond, because you're going to be outside. There's going to be a lot more mobs, so definitely always be on the ready for those types of things. And let's see, what else? Prepare a lot of smooth stone and dirt. Those are the main building blocks of what we're going to need. And we're just going to be doing a lot of placing of dirt. And smooth stone. So important things to do is, when you're looking at these things, is step back. Always step back and kind of plan it out, because it's like painting or something like that. You don't want to get bogged down in the details. You want to step back and look at the whole thing from afar and kind of see, all right, so I'm getting kind of, getting into the details here. When you get too much into details, that's when things can start to fall apart. So be wary about that. Walk way out there and look at what you're doing from a great distance. You'll get a huge change in perspective, and you're like, oh, so that works, but that doesn't. All right, well, I can work with that. So that's how we're going to be kind of doing this. And right here, we're just going to create an arch. So I'm going to start kind of creating some randomness to it a little bit here and there. And then below this, we're going to add some smooth stone and different things like that. So as we go along with this first project, definitely let me know if things you like, don't like about it, so we can continue to improve and things like that. So then we're going to jump over here. And as you can see, we're starting to get a little bit of an arch. And once we actually make the footpath and things like that, then we'll kind of gnaw at it a little bit and kind of change it. But for now, we're going to make this look as natural as possible. Okay. So I'm going to use that to place the, whoops, no, I don't want that there. Trying to figure out how I want to do this best. So it's a lot of trial and error, And you guys have been requesting this type of video for a long time to kind of see how I, change the landscape changes, things like that. And we're going to create some kind of a little bit of hills up here, just a little bit. So we're going to go like that. There we go. So it's just a lot of trial and error, and there's not really any room for failure, really. It's just kind of whatever you feel. That looks natural, that looks nice, things like that. It's fun. This is really fun to do, kind of change your landscape in your world a little bit, other than, just the standard Minecraft generated worlds and things like that. Alrighty-o. All right, so I'm starting to like this. I'm just kind of adding a little bit here and there to make the top of the cliff be a little bit a lot of dirt, a lot of grass. And then as that kind of tapers down, it exposes the dirt and things, or the stone, where it's kind of eroding the sea cliff. So that's kind of what we're doing here a little bit. There we go, perfect. And I'm just gonna expand this just a little bit more along there. There we go, and I'll place the block right there. Okay, so let's get an idea here. All right, I like it so far. Let's see, what if we kind of make this just a little bit more right there? We can maybe go like that a little bit. So it's just trial and error. Whatever you see. There we go. All right. So now it's the point where I kind of want to step back a little bit and take a look from afar and see how we're doing. Okay. All right. We're getting there. It's really, really basic at this point, but that's the point. We start, very small like this. You're thinking like, oh, that doesn't look all that great. But believe me, if you stick with it, good things will happen. Oh, very good things. All right, so just adding a little extra dirt down here. I'm going to make just a little bit of scaffolding for when we get to our smooth stone portion of the build. So I'm going to say probably about there, and then I'm going to come in. So I have a point where I can kind of step back from the build, and then I'm just going to make a little bit of close scaffolding here. Perfect. Okay. So let's just sit here and have our lunch break. And I think this will be pretty cool. So over here, we're going to do maybe a nice waterfall, I was thinking. And then this will be kind of a river that'll run along here. I think it'll look pretty darn awesome when we all get it all complete. There we go. So let's see here. So just kind of stacking up along here, trying to get a sense of a little bit more of scale. So there's a little bit of dirt on the bottom, a little bit of dirt on the top. I think it'll look pretty nice. There we go. Perfect. There we go. I think things are starting to kind of come together a little bit. I do want to make sure this has a decent arch shape. So I got to be kind of mindful to make sure I maintain that. And then I'm going to make a little bit more scaffolding over here so we can see on the other side. And let's get a good look from back here. Yeah, all right, it's good. Good. Looks like things are starting to progress. And let's get over here. So yeah, it's kind of tedious work a little bit, trying to find the best kind of ways of getting in it. But the biggest thing is don't give up when you first see it. You might not like what you first see, but just don't give up. Don't give up. I do that way too often, and it never goes anywhere. If you give up, you completely give up on everything and you get nothing in return. You might be done with this and it might not look all that great, but at least you did accomplish something, you learned from it, and you can continue from there. If you just give up on it, you go nowhere. So keep trying to keep that in mind. That's what I always try to keep in mind. Even if it doesn't look all that great, at least I finished and accomplished something, and I can learn from how I built it and kind of go from there. All right. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'll probably saw out a little bit of this dirt, right? Saw out. That makes no sense. I'll shovel out some of this dirt along here and add some more smooth stone, I think. So let's get to that point now. All right, so let's jump on over here. Oh, wasn't quite planning on doing that at that point. Yeah, so let's start over here then if I'm going to fall off my scaffolding. And I think this is where I want to kind of start adding some smooth stone. Now, this is a little bit tricky. So this first episode, I just kind of want to give you guys some basic tips a little bit along here, is try to avoid like what I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to place this block over that one. Try your best to pre-plan where you're going to put your smooth stone so that you don't, overlap it and you don't use more resources than you need. Like here, make a mistake. It just keeps, your usage of your resources down and things like that. Kind of helps in the long run. Alrighty, let's see who. I think things are looking pretty good. All right, that's good so far. And then just kind of add these up here. So this is kind of the underbelly of the arch here. So we're going to start to make the arch come out right over here. So if you can, try to remember to do this like a block instead of put two smooth stone there. It just helps with resources in the end. There we go. There, I like it. I think we're getting something. I feel like we're getting there. What do you think? Do you think we're getting anywhere on this? I think if we just kind of create a little bit more of an arch right over here, kind of to the ground. So let's actually come out maybe two there to stagger it, and then come down maybe like that, maybe, and then there. I don't know. Just try to make it, stagger it a little bit so it doesn't look, like, make it look natural, like part of it eroded to the ground and part of it still just clinging for life. Okay, there we go. And then let's see here. So what if I just place, a dirt block there, a dirt block there, start coming out like that. Maybe remove these guys right here. There we go. Perfect. And then, sometimes you will cover up a few pieces, but if you're just mindful to try to remember not to in certain areas. Oh, hey, what? Whoa. What? Where did you come from? Where did you come from, you evil zombie? He was on fire. He caught me on fire. Man. All right. There we go. Perfect. I'm liking this. I'm liking it a lot. All right. So you just kind of get in here. Get this all done. There we go. And then, start making sure you look on the other side of your arch. Be mindful of this area of the structure too, because you want to look nice on both sides, but not the same. So try to add a little variation to what you're doing on this side. Like this side's going to be a little skinnier. So I'm going to be kind of mindful of that a little bit. So it's not, the same on both sides. Okay. And then from here, I think my walls will be kind of along here. So we'll kind of lay out that a little bit. So this will kind of dip in here a little bit like so. And I'll just kind of run these along here, and this will be kind of the sea walls along here. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, so this is fun. It's tedious. It takes a lot of time, a lot of resources, but it's definitely fun. So let's see where we are now. Let's add a little bit more along here. There we go. Just add a little bit more rock along here. I think that'll look nice. There we go. And just fill in different areas like that. And try to make it look like this is, resting up on the side of a cliff and everything like that. Scaffolding up here. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to kind of look at it from a distance and gauge at this and see where we are. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Oh, look at that view. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, so here we go. And there's our little arch that we're building, little natural arch bridge from our man-made bridge. And as you can see, it looks pretty good so far. I think it's got a pretty good start to it. We'll add definitely a little bit more details as we go along. At this point, now that it's got kind of its top and it's got its bottom and things like that, now you just kind of refine it. So we'll start working on maybe another part of the area. So work on these little cliffs. And then as you're kind of walking around, you might notice, oh, maybe if I take off that block and that block, maybe it'll look a little better. And then you just try different things like that at this point. So let's leave this side alone. And then we'll head on the back side here. Kind of look, oh my gosh, fell off the bridge again. So I want to get a little look at back here to kind of feel how we're doing. So we need a little bit more work right here. So let's see. If I fall off that one more time, I'm going to get all upset. Okay, so let's see here. So let's try to kind of spin this over here a little bit. There we go. And we'll just kind of add a little extra up there. There we go, perfect. And we'll kind of bring this, thicken this area up a little bit. Needs a little bit more dirt. So, and I fell off again. So I guess I'm gonna have to get really angry. All right, so we'll just back that scaffolding off a little bit there. Okay, so let's see. So I guess we can add a little bit more here. So let's just add just a little bit more rock right there. And then we'll top that part off with a little bit of dirt there. And then just kind of add up here. So what we're trying to get the idea is that, and I fell off again. We're trying to get the idea that, so this is kind of the dirt up here, and then it's been eroding away, exposing some of the rock below. Now I wish we had some more variation in materials we could use, so it's not just dirt and smooth stone. I wish there was something else we could use, but I don't know what at this point. I was thinking maybe like a little hardened clay here or there, but I tried it. But I tried a little mock-up of a couple colors together, and yeah, they just didn't look all that great together. But I might readdress it later if you guys have any other suggestions. And then we'll just thicken this area up a little. Thicken that area up a little bit if I don't keep falling off my scaffolding. Let's jump on back up here again. There we go. All right. I'm not a big fan of that right there. And then I'm just going to expand that up a little bit. And then I want the rock right here to start to come in. So that's a bit tricky. So as you can see, there's the end of the little arch that we made on that side. But I wanted to kind of scoop under here and have this kind of underground area a little bit. So let's just say we start to add a little bit along here. And remember to add some variation to it so it's not all uniform and natural. Or I mean natural, not, look like fake. So, and of course we'll bring the rock all the way down to the ground here and stuff like that. So it's just kind of trial and error at this point. Still, so we can get to a real finished point where we could really refine it. There we go. Let's fill in those areas down there a little bit. There we go. All right, so we're starting to get there. So let's bring that up there like so. And from here, we're going to start to go up. So it creates that natural little under area down there. So it looks like, I don't know, water kind of carved out an area of the rock. So something like that. And then we can come in here and maybe like, I don't know, knock out something right there and knock out that guy there. And just stick something like that. I don't know, something like that. Just add in little bits of detail here or there. There we go, running out of materials. Okay, so let's jump up. Oh my gosh. Well, I guess we can kind of get a look from down here at this point. Oh, okay. So this will be the river. So the river will flow through here. And then we'll get rid of some of this dirt because I want this to mostly be rock along here. All right. So let's pop on over here. There we go. And let's see. There we go. That's starting to look good. I like that. And let's just start to arch this side over here. I'm going to come up from the back there. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good for that section. I think that's a good kind of floor plan to follow. There we go. And what's fun about this, every time you do a little change here or there, it's unique. It's how many times can we make a chair or a couch in Minecraft? They're pretty much all the same. But this way, it's just whatever. Every time you do it, it's just a little bit different, a little cooler here, a little bit of there. It's fun. I really like doing environmental changes. I've never done anything kind of this big in survival. I've done like on servers, I've done a little here or there, new mountains and stuff like that, but I've never actually done a real big project like this, and especially in survival. So this is pretty fun. It's a learning experience for me because some of my projects like well, you can't see it without the chunks loaded, but that area I did quite a bit in survival and all, but it's nothing at the scale of this by any means. Okay, so I want to get to my scaffolding so we can start to connect these areas together. So we'll jump up here, come up here, and as you can see, we're starting to bring these guys together, and I keep falling off my scaffolding. But see, what I want to do here is I want to kind of remove some of this dirt, kind of cover it up like that. So it looks like, as you can see, the water has kind of etched out this area through here. And as you can see, the water's, been at this point longer. So this area is a little bit more chiseled out than at points where it's been a little higher, and it kind of evens out. So I think that looks kind of natural. Okay, so just kind of keep cutting this in a little bit. There we go. Perfect. And then these are pretty much just placeholders there so I can connect other blocks to them. There we go. And this is just about how I think I want. That's about how I want it for now. We can kind of come over here and look at it. And then, of course, this doesn't look that great. We're going to have to take out the dirt and then, kind of soften up it a little bit, because a lot of really jaggedy like this with a lot of pieces, it doesn't look great from afar. So you kind of want to smooth it out a little bit more than you think you would when you're just down here. You're like, oh, lots of detail. But when you step back a little bit, the jagged areas doesn't look all that great. So smooth it out just a little bit so there's not so many of these blocks, sticking out like that. All right, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna kind of smooth this out and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We got another beautiful sunrise above Scarland, and here it is. So I've been working a little bit more on it and just kind of tweaking and refining it a little bit. And I think we've got a pretty good little arch along here. I do wish it had a little more archy to it, a little bit more sway to it. But that's something we can just continue to little chop around at it and kind of make it look a little bit better. So here's the inside over here. I kind of made a little cave. I washed up some sand, so it looks like the ocean kind of washed it into here a little bit. And there's just another little cave over here. We'll add all the water through here in the next episode. And then here's the backside over here. So this is still kind of a work in progress on this side as we kind of come around the edge over here. But yeah, so I think that's a pretty good first start here at it. So we just kind of knock around here and add a few pieces here and there as we go along. But yeah, I think this is really starting to come out, and I think it'll be really cool. Really kind of unique aspect to Scarland with such a unique piece of terrain here. And I like this area through here because it does really look like the water is kind of like eroded and washed out this kind of banks along here, as you can see the different water levels and stuff. I really like that. Up here, we need a little bit more detail up here, and I was trying to add like a little dirt was sticking through or something, so I'm not sure if I'll keep that or not. Hey, yo. Let me deal with you. And yeah, I like this. I think this came out pretty good. We still have quite a bit more to go here. Over here, we're going to do a really cool little grotto and waterfall and all that. But yeah, well, guys, this has been Good Times with Scar. And I always really appreciate you guys taking time to watch my videos. And if you believe the video deserved a rating, that would be much appreciated. And until next time, we'll see you later. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Let's head down here to the modernization of the Scarland transportation system. So this is just a prototype that I've been working on. And the minecart, you know, comes down here, goes through here, hits the cactus, goes in there. I want to go on a little trip. Let's see, I walk over here, and it should pop out of minecart.